Macroeconomics, got to define economics first. Scarcity principle. We've got unlimited wants. We got a limited amount of resources, right? So unlimited wants and desires, only so much stuff. And specifically, some examples of only so much stuff would be having to do with, career choices, right? You can't be a surgeon and an architect. There's, scarcity that's involved in global warming. There's only so many resources, and how do we use those resources with the least amount of impact on the environment and our natural resources? There's even scarcity in something like, purchasing bottled water. So every bottled water that is purchased is plastic and stuff, that could have been used for other actions. So we see scarcity all around us. And in economics, oftentimes we use what's called the cost-benefit principle. And if this seems like a lot of common sense, that's great. That's wonderful. That means you already have, an economic naturalist type of brain, right? So the cost-benefit principle is telling us that we're only going to do something, we're only going to take an action when the extra benefits, and the extra part's important, right? The extra benefits are at least greater than, or equal to or greater than the extra costs. And it's important for us to keep in mind that these costs and these benefits, right? These are, not just money, but their time. Again, it might be, clean air, clean water, right? So on and so forth. So it can be all sorts of things that aren't just money. Resources, time, skill, etc. So a part of what we are building in economics is we're building models. And in order to build a model, we have to have some assumptions about how things behave in that model. And so part of that assumption, part of the assumptions that we're making, is that all people are rational. What do we mean by rational? Well, we mean that they have well-defined goals and they do their best to fulfill their goals. So obviously we know that all people are not rational, right? There are some irrational people. There's some people that become irrational because of various things, drug addiction, mental disorders, so on and so forth, right? But for the most part, we are assuming that these people in general are rational, right? And for the most part, I mean, your experience in life should, hopefully, right, unless you've had a really kind of crazy, life so far, right, should align with the fact that, yeah, you have goals, you're doing things to achieve those goals. Same thing with parents and friends and stuff like that, right? How well we achieve those goals is a whole nother matter. But for the most part, we have goals and we try to achieve them. And so we call this rationality in economic terms, right? So if you're taking a psychology course, rationality might be defined as something different. But in economics and the models that we're talking about, rational means they've got well-defined goals and they're trying to fulfill them the best they can, right? So to put this into an example, right, we may ask ourselves, what if we could save $20 by driving to Alliance? to purchase something, right? Let's say that, it's $20 cheaper in Alliance. So how would you go ahead and evaluate this, right? Well, we could use our cost benefit analysis, right? Otherwise known as CBA, cost benefit analysis. So in order to do the cost benefit analysis model, right, we have to figure out what are the extra benefits and what are the extra costs of doing this action. Well, the extra benefits are actually pretty straightforward, right? What's the extra benefit? It's that $20. You get $20 more in your pocket or bank account, right? You could do a lot of things with that $20. It gets trickier when we start to try to define what does it mean for the cost of walking to town.